what if the only way to survive being the biggest pop star in the world is to deliberately sabotage the very image that got you there? Today, we're looking at a plot twist nobody saw coming. The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and just like that, Hollywood had a brand new obsession.
Yeah, it is the kind of narrative pivot you usually only see in a meticulously scripted film. Except, this is playing out in real time, completely unscripted, on a massive global stage.
Welcome to StarScope Report. Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And for this deep dive, we are zeroing in on a story that has completely rewired the timeline. Specifically, why Ariana Grande turned back to Ricky Alvarez after Ethan Slater.
Right. We are pulling from a massive stack of sources today to really deconstruct what is happening behind the scenes for you.
Yeah, we have got comprehensive music reviews from the Setonian, breaking reports from TMZ and Page Six, plus deep background pieces from People magazine and The Guardian.
So we are going to explore the complete chaotic timeline of this rekindled romance, dive into the feral, explosive sounds of her massive new album, Pedal, and unpack the underlying mechanisms of why the relentless, suffocating public scrutiny is causing one of the most famous women on the planet to step away from the spotlight entirely.
Oh, and if you are loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you are subscribed. We have got even crazier stories ahead for you.
Let's just get straight into it. To really grasp why this particular reunion is sending shockwaves through the industry, we have to look at the sheer amount of whiplash the public and Ariana herself has experienced over the last few years.
Oh, absolutely. The context is everything here. I mean, we really need to map that out for you so you can see the full picture.
Right. So Ariana finalized her divorce from Dalton Gomez back in 2024. Then, the world watched her dive headfirst into this highly publicized, incredibly scrutinized relationship with her Wicked co-star, Ethan Slater.
And the tabloids just could not get enough of it. It was front page news for months, just relentless.
It really was. But fast forward to 2025 and into the summer of 2026, and suddenly the narrative completely fractures. She is reconnecting with someone from her distant past.
Ricky Alvarez.
Exactly. Nearly a decade after they first split.
And for those of you who might not have been closely following pop culture a decade ago, we need to establish who Ricky is, because he is not just some random ex.
No, not at all.
Ricky actually joined Ariana's team as a backup dancer way back in 2014, and by 2015, that professional relationship evolved. They actually shared a very public kiss on stage during her performance of Madonna's Vogue at a New York Pride concert.
Oh man, the Pride concert kiss.
Ooh.
That was literally everywhere. But even more significantly, I feel like he was right there by her side during the infamous 2015 Donut Gate scandal.
Oh, yeah. That was a huge moment.
When the entire internet turned on her, he literally stood next to her through that entire public uproar.
He was a constant stabilizing presence before she was the untouchable icon she is today. In fact, he heavily inspired the lead track Moonlight from her Dangerous Woman album.
Oh, I love that song.
Right. It's so good. If you look at the source material, her co-writer Victoria Monet confirmed that Ricky actually called Ariana Moonlight after their first kiss.
Wait, really? That's actually incredibly sweet.
Yeah, it became this beautiful, permanent musical bookmark of the start of their relationship. But, as things often go with the immense pressure of young stardom, they had a natural split in 2016.
Right, because her career was just exploding at that point.
Exactly. The sources from that time explicitly noted there was no bad blood. Her career was taking off into the stratosphere, they were simply at different stages in their lives, and the timing just dissolved.
Which brings us to the present day. Because this summer, the timeline completely rebooted. In June 2026, they are spotted together on a low-key group outing in Texas.
And then it escalates. Ricky spends the 4th of July weekend in Florida with Ariana and her family.
Yeah, according to People magazine and TMZ, they are taking things slowly to rebuild their bond. But here is where I have to push back a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
Isn't bringing Ricky into this current, hyper-scrutinized era of her life a massive risk? It feels like taking a pristine, untainted memory from a simpler time and throwing it directly into a wood chipper. Like, why go backward?
I mean, it is a massive risk, you're not wrong. But if you look at the psychological mechanism of seeking a pre-fame anchor, it makes total sense.
Right.
Think of Ricky as a time capsule to 2015.
Okay, I can see that.
He is from an era before her life was entirely public property. The reports from her inner circle paint a very specific picture. He's described as dependable, trustworthy, and someone who shares her smart, dry sense of humor.
So he's not just a romantic partner, he's basically a grounding wire.
Precisely. Look at the sheer chaos she has navigated recently, The divorce, the relentless Ethan Slater headlines, the intense global judgment.
It's been nonstop.
Right. She exists in an ecosystem where everyone wants something from her. Ricky knew her before the world completely changed the rules on her. With him, she doesn't have to perform the role of Ariana Grande, global pop superstar. She can just be herself.
Okay, yeah, I see the logic there. You want a shield who remembers who you were before the fame became suffocating. And, that's not even the wildest part.
Alex close.
Because this private, quiet reunion just exploded live on stage, and the lyrics she's changing are leaving fans completely speechless.
It is arguably one of the most brilliant pieces of narrative control we have seen in modern pop history. I really believe that.
Because this romance isn't just playing out in quiet family gatherings in Florida anymore. It has become the pulsing heartbeat of her 8th studio album, Petal.
And Petal is an absolute juggernaut of a record, co-written with her longtime collaborator, ILY, and the legendary pop hitmaker Max Martin, who, by the way, is known for creating mathematically perfect pop songs.
He really is. The guy's a genius.
Totally. And this album is different. It debuted at #1 on the iTunes charts and racked up over 60 million Spotify streams in record time. Every single track landed in the top 15 on the daily global Spotify chart on release day.
The numbers are staggering. But frankly, we expect big numbers from her. For me, it's the sound and the attitude that really grabbed me.
Right, the vibe is totally shifted.
Ariana herself described the project as feral. And when you listen to it, you hear exactly what she means. It's this incredible return to her signature synth pop and R&B sound.
The Seatonian Review noted that it blends the heavy, trap-style 808s of the Thank You Next era with the mature, reflective tone of Eternal Sunshine.
And for anyone wondering what trap-style 808s means, it refers to the Roland TR-808 drum machine,
which produces those deep, booming, heavy bass kicks that you literally feel in your chest.
Exactly. By pairing her incredibly light, angelic soprano vocals with those heavy, gritty bass lines, she creates this aggressive sonic contrast. She's using that specific sound to explore two very distinct, yet deeply intertwined themes on this album.
Let's break those themes down, starting with the romance, because the first half of the album is almost entirely about this rekindled flame with Ricky.
Tracks like Stay and Bad Thing, which has the subtitle Bunny Hop in parentheses, which is a brilliant nod to those iconic bunny ears from her Dangerous Woman era.
I love that detail. And those songs capture that giddy, nervous, almost teenage feeling of falling back in love with an ex. She literally sings the line, feeling like a teenager, I guess I really needed you.
It is very vulnerable. But then she pivots. Hard.
Oh, yeah. The fans have this nickname for her, R&Biana, which is what they call her when she leans into her raunchier, highly confident R&B side.
And tracks like Never Get Over Me and Big Feelings are pure R&Biana. She isn't just singing about a crush, she is boasting about their intimate, unshakable connection.
But then she flips the script again, and this is where the album gets really fascinating. Because the second major theme acts as a massive counterweight to the love songs.
It is her absolute exhaustion with public scrutiny.
Exactly. Songs like the lead single, Hate That I Made You Love Me, Freak, and I Do act as a direct middle finger to parasocial relationships.
Let's actually unpack the mechanism of that parasocial dynamic for a second, because it is crucial to understanding her frustration.
Go for it.
A parasocial relationship is a one-sided bond where a fan invests emotional energy, time, and money into a celebrity who doesn't even know they exist.
But in the modern internet era, that has mutated into something so toxic.
It really has. Fans stream a song for a fraction of a penny and suddenly feel like they have bought stock in the artist's private life. They feel a sense of financial and moral ownership over who she dates, how she looks, and what she says.
And she is actively calling out that toxic dynamic on this album. In the track Like I Do, she actually boasts about making sense off of their nonsense, acknowledging that all the trash talk and tabloid fodder just keeps her well-fed.
Wow.
Yeah, she is profiting off of their obsession while simultaneously telling them how much she resents it.
Which is a masterclass in weaponizing your own controversy. But she didn't just leave these messages in the recording studio.
No, she did not. The real test of this new narrative control happened the moment she stepped in front of a live audience.
Exactly. During her Eternal Sunshine tour, she has been performing her 2018 mega hit Thank You Next.
Such a classic.
Now, if you remember the original lyrics, she literally name drops them. She says, wrote some songs about Ricky, now I listen and laugh.
Right. Acknowledging the past, but moving on.
But at recent shows, she completely changed the architecture of the song. She's saying, I know he's still got my back.
Which is huge on its own.
And then, at a concert that actually fell on his birthday, she's saying, we always find our way back. And the internet completely shattered.
I mean, think about the mechanics of what she accomplished there. By changing a single lyric live in front of tens of thousands of people, she instantly rewired the global media narrative without ever having to sit down for a press interview or issue a PR statement.
It's brilliant.
It bypassed the media machine entirely. It went straight to TikTok, straight to Twitter, and she controlled every single second of the reveal.
But here is my fundamental issue with this strategy, and it feels like a massive contradiction.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, she is demanding privacy on this album, right?
Right.
She's telling the public, the critics, and the fans to stay out of her business and stop analyzing her life. But simultaneously, she is dropping these massive lyrical Easter eggs and changing lines live on stage to confirm her love life. Isn't she pouring gasoline on the exact fire she is complaining about?
That is a very valid critique for sure. But you have to look at the central metaphor of the album itself to understand her logic here.
Okay, lay it on me.
So the title track, Petal, is a rock-infused anthem where she portrays herself as a delicate flower forced to grow in the harsh, unnatural concrete of stardom.
Right.
Yes, she is sharing deeply personal details about Ricky, but the crucial distinction is that she's doing it strictly on her terms.
Oh, I see. So it's about the illusion of access.
Yeah, exactly. For years, the media and the public have dictated the narrative about her body, her relationships, and her choices. By putting it into the music and changing the lyrics on stage, she is seizing the pen back.
She's the author again.
Yes. She isn't asking for permission to be happy, and she isn't giving some peerful tell-all interview. She is stating facts through her art and then telling the audience that they still don't actually know her.
She is basically saying, I will give you the specific pieces of the puzzle I want you to have, but do not pretend you see the whole picture.
Exactly.
That is incredibly powerful. And later in the deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking career twist nobody saw coming. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.
Because, taking control of the narrative in the safety of a recording studio or on a stage where you hold the microphone is one thing, but surviving the physical and mental toll of that concrete environment she sings about, that is something else entirely.
And that brings us to the breaking point.
Yeah.
Because the public scrutiny didn't just stay confined to gossip columns about who she was dating.
No, it got so much darker.
It reached a boiling point that actively threatened her health and her future.
The tipping point really arrived with the release of the Petal music video. Instead of the conversation focusing on the art, the cinematography, or the lyrical depth, an intense and relentless online conversation sparked purely about her physical appearance.
It generated widespread, highly invasive commentary about her looking emaciated, sparking what the sources refer to as a bone-thin controversy.
It is devastating to watch, and it echoes an incredibly emotional interview she gave back in 2024.
Oh, I remember that interview.
She was asked about the pressure to look perfect, and she just broke down in tears. She described herself as being treated like a specimen in a petri dish since she was 16 years old.
Since she was 16, that's just wild to think about.
She said, no matter what you do, people find a reason why it's wrong. You fix one thing and they attack you for something else.
In that same interview, she called out a dangerous comfortability that people have with commenting on women's bodies. And if we look at how the internet era has accelerated this, she is entirely correct.
Oh, 100%.
In the 2000s, tabloid culture was driven by paparazzi and magazines. It was cruel, but it was somewhat centralized. Today, with TikTok and Twitter, millions of anonymous users feel empowered to act as armchair physicians and critics, just dissecting a woman's body frame by frame.
And that dangerous comfortability has been democratized. The sheer weight of that danger has led to a massive, career-altering decision.
It really has. According to statements given to The Guardian and Page 6, Ariana has announced she is taking a step back from visibility to protect her health and her happiness.
And we need to emphasize that this isn't just a vague, carefully worded PR statement meant to buy her a few weeks of quiet, There is real, immediate financial fallout here.
Right. She has officially dropped out of a major Broadway project.
This is the part that still shocks me.
She was set to headline the highly anticipated summer 2027 London stage revival of Stephen Sondheim's Sunday in the Park with George.
And she was going to star opposite her Wicked co-star Jonathan Bailey. We really have to pause and realize the magnitude of this for her.
Yeah, Ariana is a theater kid at her core. Sondheim is the holy grail of musical theater.
To walk away from a London revival of that caliber because of the endless ongoing scrutiny speaks volumes. Empire Street Productions confirmed her departure and stated they completely understand and support her decision.
To abandon a dream role in London is the ultimate indicator of just how necessary this break is for her basic survival.
And if you look at her schedule after the Eternal Sunshine Tour wraps up on September 1st, 2026, at the O2 Arena in London, the slate is almost entirely wiped clean.
Her only remaining project is a film called Focker-in-Law, starring Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro, which releases over Thanksgiving. After that, total silence.
Which circles us right back to Ricky. Through all of this darkness, the canceled Broadway dreams, the body shaming, the sheer exhaustion, Ricky has been described by insiders as a ray of light.
And what stands out to me is what he is not doing.
Right.
He isn't out there giving interviews to tabloids. He isn't trying to steal the spotlight or leverage her fame for his own gain.
He is quietly attending her tour dates, acting as this supportive, silent shield against the intense backlash.
He is providing the exact kind of grounding presence she wrote about on the album. There's a song called Nowhere, Nobody on Pedal, and it ends with a very telling lyric.
What is it?
She sings, "Deep breaths, honey, we've at least till morning, then there's nowhere, nobody else that I'd rather be with."
Wow. Ricky is that safe space where the deafening noise of the world finally shuts off.
So what does this all actually mean for you, the fans, and for the industry? Is this really the end of Ariana's music career, or just a strategic pause to let the heat die down? Because I was reading the Setonian Review, and they literally titled their piece, "Pedal might be Ariana Grande's best and last album."
If we look at recent pop history, there is a very compelling and honestly somewhat tragic precedent for this exact scenario.
Think about Rihanna's album Anti, or Taylor Swift's Reputation.
Yes, exactly. These were cultural flashpoints where massive 2010s pop stars reached the absolute peak of their global fame, found themselves suffocating under industry scrutiny, and responded by releasing gritty, vulnerable, deeply angry projects.
They essentially weaponized their art to kill their own pristine image so the media couldn't do it for them.
Like Reputation was Taylor taking back her name by embracing the villain role, and Anti was Rihanna proving she wasn't just a machine built to churn out radio hits.
Exactly. They burned their own houses down to escape the industry's expectations.
And much like Rihanna pivoted sharply after Anti, stepping largely away from music for years to focus on her businesses and her personal life, Pedal could very well signal a long-term departure for Ariana.
The music video for Pedal heavily hints at her readiness to leave the machinery of the industry behind.
She has left her mark, she has said her piece to the public, and now, for perhaps the first time since she was a teenager, she is choosing herself.
It is a profound shift in the cultural landscape. She gave us the feral pop hits, she gave us the live lyric changes that broke the internet, she gave us the romance, and now she is taking back her life.
It is a stark reminder that behind the 60 million streams, the sold-out arenas, and the perfectly curated music videos, there is a human being who simply cannot exist indefinitely inside a petri dish.
Which leaves you with a really critical question to think about long after this deep dive ends. If artists like Ariana, these generational talents who have given their entire youth to entertaining us, are ultimately forced into hiding by the very fans and media who consume their art, what does that mean for the future of pop culture? Are we, as a culture, destroying the flowers we claim to love by constantly digging up their roots just to see how they grow?
That is the ultimate tragedy of the concrete pavement she sings about.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.